What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Today's video, what I'm going to be showing you guys real quickly is going to be a part that I got from my N54 to protect my engine from potential failure later on in its life, which could potentially save me thousands of dollars if my belt was to fail and shred. So a little backstory: a few months ago, actually, I was driving just fine. I had no oil leaks or nothing. You guys know on the N54s you have a lot of oil leaks, and it's pretty common for the belt to shred and get destroyed. And a lot of the times that belt ends right inside the engine, as it will go right into the main seal. Well, when I was driving, I had no oil leaks. My belt was fine. I had replaced it not that long ago. New pullers, new everything. So I'm not exactly sure what would have happened, but the belt ended up slipping, shredding, and luckily it didn't get sucked into the front of the engine like it typically does. So at this point, I knew that just because I had new belts and new pulleys, that still wasn't safe enough to just be driving like that, especially with the design of these engines and the harmonic design. So at this point, I had seen this product on many BMW forums and stuff like that. So I decided to go ahead and buy this, and I'm now just getting to install it since I have the motor out, and it's gonna be much easier. But this is going to be a front main seal cover for the engine in case your belt ever shreds and it gets destroyed. That way it will get just thrown out. It won't get sucked in right through the engine and potentially cause your engine to fail catastrophically. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the part and real quickly how I'll be installing it out here. Compared to the inside of the car, is going to be fairly simple, and there's not a lot to it. Probably take a few hours, and the part is only around $100, which $100 could potentially save you from thousands and thousands of dollars of fixing your N54. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that. I got this N54 out here. This is the motor that was in my car. I'm doing some maintenance on it before it goes back into the car. But I'll show you guys in this motor the procedure you're gonna have to follow. So obviously for something like this, you're gonna have to remove your belts, all of your other tensioners, stuff like that, and you should probably replace them while you're at it as well. And after you do that, you're gonna have to go down here, and you're gonna have to go ahead and remove these 6 bolts. These are E10s, and that should allow you to remove the harmonic balancer off. One thing you do not want to do, and I say do not because you do not want to do this at all, is gonna be remove this big bolt right here. This actually will hold your timing in place, and removing that will take your timing off, or your timing will be off, as that bolt is what actually holds your crank cover in place. So once you remove all these bolts right here, you're gonna have to go down here, and at the bottom you got these 2 bolts. You got one right there and one right there. That's gonna be those are gonna be E12s, and that's gonna go right over it, and then you're gonna have to reinstall those bolts. And pretty much what this is gonna do, this is gonna cover your front main seal, which I'm still going to replace on this engine since I already have it out, and it's really easy to do it at this point. But I'm still going to go ahead and remove these 2 bolts real quick for you guys, and I'm going to install that on there so I can show you how it looks once it's back on there installed. And another thing about these bolts, as you can see, they have the blue dot in the bottom. So you actually want to go ahead and order these new if you're going to be doing this job, just because all these aluminum bolts that have a blue dot on them, they're actually non-reusable, and BMW recommends only use them once. So once they get pulled off, any bolt that has this blue dot on it, or feels aluminum in general, should be replaced. But for this purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and reinstall these for now so I can show you guys the installation. But if you're planning on doing this, I highly recommend to order these as well. So this is the cover, and it's just going to go right over like that, and then these bolts go back on. And that's really it as far as it goes to installing that. And what that will do is, in case your belt ever goes ahead and rips, your harmonic has a lip in the front but doesn't really have a lip on the back, so usually it will get stuck, goes back, and then with the spinning forces it will get sucked right in through. So now your belt ever rips, it doesn't really have some seal to hit. It's actually going to go ahead and hit this instead, and this should protect it from ever going in. So even though you might still shred a belt, at least once your belt shreds, it won't get sucked in right in through, where at that point Since you have all these gears right behind your hub and this cupboard, you actually got your oil pump and your timing sprocket right behind it, and then you have your chains for your oil pump. Oil pump. Then you have your for your high pressure fuel pump and your vacuum pump up here. You have a lot of chains, a lot of sprockets in there that are just going to shred up the belt. And if that belt gets stuck between two parts of the chain, it could potentially get it stuck and jam it to the point that you could either break. You're going to break a tensioner. You might break even a chain possibly, and that could just make a huge mess inside of your engine. And depending how bad damage was caused, you might be able to fix the engine and replace some parts of it, but you're still going to be spending thousands of dollars to do this. And if you completely destroy the motor where you have too much going on and a lot of stuff gets destroyed, you might have to replace the engine, which you'll be looking at even more money. So for $100 and probably a few hours with the engine inside of the car, I highly recommend doing this. If you're pulling out the motor or doing any other maintenance, you're gonna have to take part of the front end of the car off. I highly recommend doing this as well. Yeah, don't test your luck with the belts. Just go ahead and buy this. This is about $100, and one of the best safety things you can do in an N54. And once you have it installed, you kind of just want to inspect the amount of gap you have all the way around it. You can wiggle a little bit side to side, not a whole lot, and just make sure that it's on there nice and centered. Because once you put this back, the pulley on here, it might rub a little bit, it might not. It's just clearance are pretty small, but if it does, just let it wear out a little bit until you're fine. And I'll try to put a link in the description where I bought this at. I'm not affiliated with them by any means, but I do want other people to be running this, as it happened to me already that I shredded a belt. Luckily, mine didn't get sucked in, but I do not want to see people out there having to replace their engines just because of this failure. So I'm going to put the link in the description, and please go ahead and do this to your car. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions about any of the procedures of installation or anything about this product or anything in general, or literally any questions about anything, just go ahead and comment down below in the comments, and like always, I will reply to everybody. So go ahead and do that if you have any questions. And once again, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It's going to help me a lot. And I also have a lot of content coming up next that you guys do not want to miss. So once again, thanks for watching.